Break the board sports. It's your boy RJ Cash. Click that like, hit subscribe. 2026 is here. It's time for you to turn profit betting. I know a lot of people say, you can't really win. That's garbage. It's what I do for a living. There's a lot of people that do it for a living, but there's very important tips and tricks and things you got to abide by. Go to breaktheboardsports.com, sign for your package if you'd like plays. The first one is discipline, right? You got to have discipline in everything we do in life. I always talk about this. Motivation doesn't get you anywhere. Everybody's motivated to be in good shape. Very few people are disciplined to go day in, day out to the gym without seeking results. Well, it's the same thing in handicapping. Listen, you're not going to win every bet. And I know a lot of your buddies, I catch flack on social media all the time. Look, I gave out Oregon plus 4.5. They got drummed by Indiana. It happens. What you can't do is go the next day and try to make up for the loss. It's almost like, kind of to quote Ted Lasso, you got to have the mind of a goldfish, right? Memory of a goldfish. You just keep on. It's already forgotten. Like an NFL corner that gives up the big play on to the next play. You can't live into your past wagers. It's not going to help you as you move on throughout the rest of your betting tenure. So, again, all you can do is do your handicapping, make your bets, and then move on to the next day. Whether you win or lose, still got to wake up and do it again the next day. So, again, you can't sit there and sweat out games. Another thing, I don't watch a whole lot of the games I bet. Football, yeah, sure. But you can't take up your whole evening when you have family or you have whatever else you have going on. Some of you have, real jobs where you wake up, you got to be there 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and work till 5, right? You can't stay out all night sweating games. You'll run yourself down. And that's where kind of the addiction and the crazy betting comes from. The other thing is, listen, FanDuel, DraftKings, they're on TV like every other ad. Caesars, MGM, it's crazy, right? How much ads they are. You know how much it costs to spend money for an ad? You know how much it costs to get LeBron James and Peyton Manning and all these guys, doing their videos and stuff and their advertisements? Again, they're winning off of doing stuff like parlays and whatnot. And I'm not saying parlays are bad. I usually play one a day, but I play them for a unit size. I don't play this thing that's, it's a 16-leg parlay. It's so hard to win one game as it is, right? Every game is hard to win. Every game. So even if it's a blowout, there's time, there's handicapping that goes into it. So again, discipline and not emotion. Put your bets in and walk away. Those are your bets for the night, right? If you didn't like it on the pre-flop, right now, in-game betting for NBA, in-game betting is a little different. But again, you shouldn't be sitting there, that's just where you keep hitting the ticket counter and you're not cashing, right? So again, discipline. Keep yourself 3 to 5 plays a day, bet them all the same amount. That's extremely important. If you love one that much more than the others, then fine, it's a double unit, but the rest of them are the same. Discipline is the key to making money in 2026. Less is more. Again, we were kind of touching on this a second ago. It's quality over quantity. Listen, you take a Tuesday night where you got a full hockey slate, 10 games. NBA, you got 8 games. College hoops, you may have 30 games. Look at what's going to happen this coming Saturday. You got 2 NFL playoff games, 2 NFL playoff games on Sunday, the national championship game on Monday. Mixed into that, you got NBA, NHL, college hoops, so much going on. You'll have 140 college basketball games on a Saturday. It's really hard, but you got to keep yourself. Saturday is the only, I guess, kind of hall pass I'll give you guys. Instead of the 3 to 5 on a Saturday, you can go up to 7 or 8. But I would really be choosy. Again, there's a bunch of games on the board. And sometimes when we talk about quality over quantity, that also means not betting in college basketball terms top 25 teams, right? Not betting the popular teams. Popular teams are where bettors go to die, right? I get it. It's the game on ESPN. You want to have some action on it because you're watching it. Having some action on a game because you're watching it, if you need that to watch a game, don't put action on it. Again, you have to start looking at this from making money, not just scratching an itch. That's the difference between making a profit and being an addict, right? And it's a very thin line, and I get it. If you want to put some on a game to have interest, then you should be willing to put $1, and that scratches your interest in it. Seriously, that's what it should be. You can't take away from the bankroll on a game you didn't like to begin with. treat it as an investment, right? So think about this. If you're at your job or whatever, you might have like a 401k, right? So they take X amount of your check every week, right? Whatever it is. Kind of the same way. So if you're going to put in $100 to bet every week, regardless whether you make money or not, there should be a set amount that you're going to set aside from your check to keep putting into your bankroll. Again, remember, this is an investment, right? So with your investment, would you take your 401k that you've worked so hard for over the past 4 months and will it all on black at the casino? No, you wouldn't do that. So don't do that with your sports betting money. So it's very simple. Let's just use round numbers. You start out with $100, right? So that means that $100, your bets should be somewhere around risking $5 per bet. That's your unit play. Okay. So now the next thing is every week, whether you win or lose, how much are you putting in from your check? Are you putting in $50? Great. So if you put in $50, that's $200 you invested on top of the 100 that you started with. So that's $300. Your bet size doesn't change. It remains $500 for that, or it remains $5 for that first month. Then let's see where you're at. If you're able to work that thing to get it to where it's at like 350 to 400, great. Now you can stair step that thing up to $10 to $15 a game. Again, keeping that 5% of your bankroll or less. And on the meantime, you're still adding the $50 every week from your check. Again, it's like your own 401k between winners. And if you remain disciplined, remember I said discipline is the number one tip. If you remain disciplined, next thing you know, in 3 months, your bankroll will be somewhere with the winners in which you invested. You're going to be over $1,500. At $1,500, now you can fire off $50 a game, right? Now, fast forward, if you're with a good handicapper and you're picking your own games well, look, in 6 months, you could have over $5,000, right? And remember, you just start as a $5 better with $100, but you have to start treating this as an investment and not being emotional. Again, discipline, not emotion. Less is more, quality over quantity, and treat it as an investment. Fourth one, and it's more of a handicapping rule. Don't lay points on the road. Listen, it may work out for a night, a week, a day. Heck, you might have a whole year of laying points on the road and turn a profit. But long term, after 20 years of doing this, you will not sustain winners long term. Laying points on the road is where good bettors go to die. Okay, you can't do it. If you like a favorite, if you're not willing to play them on the money line, don't lay the points on the road. Again, it may work out and you may be like, RJ was full of it. I laid points here and crushed it. You know, I was laying Indiana, laying 11.5 at Michigan State in college hoops. I'm just throwing out a wild example. And they won by 13. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, keep laying down that path. When you go broke like I have twice early on in my betting career because I was hard-headed and I thought I could bet anything, anytime, anywhere, go ahead and keep playing that. See where it gets you. Stop laying points on the road. Number 5, most important one, narrow down your handicap. So listen, unless you're a full-time handicapper and this is your job like me, and even me, it gets overwhelming, man. You're trying to break down NFL, college football, college basketball, NHL, and NBA all in the same day, right? Because you got to go through every game with a fine-tooth comb trying to figure out where you can get an edge. And again, it might not be that top 25 game. It may be freaking Savannah State versus Mississippi Valley State. It might be Idaho versus San Francisco in college hoops, right? There might be an NHL game I like on the board better than I like 2 NFL divisional playoff games, right? You got to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So you got to figure out what lane are you going to live in, because you probably have a job, you probably have a family or a girlfriend, right? They're going to think you're an addict and got a gambling problem if you're always into your apps and all that and not into them. Remember, life, got to take care of family first. So with that, what are you going to be good at, right? What are you going to be good at? So if you're going to be good at the NFL, great, study the NFL. As of right now, we're at the divisional round. So now what are you going to be good at? You're going to lay your hat in the NBA? Fine, then study in the NBA. But there's money to be made in hockey and college hoops. So find you a handicapper. I would find 2, right? I would pay 2 very cheap. I wouldn't spend a bunch of money because you don't know them, right? You might go through 5 or 6 handicappers and end up losing, right? You might find out they're losers. And how do you know when to follow a handicapper? Well, you can't cover every sport, so you got to pick out people that's sport specific. Maybe they give out NBA plays, but you're into the NBA. Well, you got their plays, you can match them up against yours. You're really following them for college hoops and hockey, right? So when you look at that, you got to look at how are you going to evaluate the handicapper? Well, again, you can't evaluate them off of a day, off of a week, over a month. It's really like a 3 to 4 month trend where you can really get a grasp on, okay, are these guys really truly making me money? And that goes back to a prior show. Check it out, volume 1, documenting every bet you make, extremely important. But find one lane and stick with it. If you say NBA is not my lane, I want to do college basketball, great. Pick out one conference. Get really good at one conference this year. Next year, add a second conference into it, right? So again, you may need help with the MEAC because you're focused on the ACC and the MAC, right? Or you're just going to focus on the WCC because you live on the West Coast. You feel like you know those teams. Narrow down your handicap, get really, really good. And if you're just, let's say you're just breaking down the WCC or you're just breaking down the ACC, they don't play every night. So that gives you time in between games to do more studying and really get a grasp on the teams, the playing style, the coaching style, the trends. And you'll get really, really good at that conference. You might even, between now and March Madness, you may be able to juggle 2 conferences, right? So again, be disciplined. Less is more. Treat it as an investment. That's the most important one. This is not playtime. This is an investment. You can make, people think I'm lying when I say this, you can turn a $5 better into a $100 better that's making $50K a year with just a little bit of discipline and change your mindset to I'm an investment, not a plaything. Don't lay points on the road. Narrow down your handicap. RJ Cash, Break the Board Sports. Hit that like, hit subscribe. Follow us, breaktheboardsports.com. Whether you fade or follow, I hope you win your bets. God bless and happy handicapping.